Back here in studio, Jonathan Jones, Bryant McFadden, Melvin Gordon. Look, this game, B-Mac, was over at halftime defensively. DeMarcus Lawrence, I mean, they were all over Jacoby Brissett from the jump.
Shouts out to the fantasy owners that actually decided to start the Seattle Seahawks defense.
You and me, we both did.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great day in terms of fantasy implications, but when it comes to the reality side of things, the Seattle Seahawks defensively under Mike Macdonald, this is the type of unit they could be. When you talk about being very, very opportunistic, harassing opposing quarterbacks. We saw 5 sacks today, 2 defensive touchdowns. The 2 defensive touchdowns, something that we've never seen before. Both plays included the same 2 individuals in terms of who caused the fumble, in terms of who picked up the fumble and scored the touchdown. And they just do a great job in playing what I call ant defense, right? You might ask, B-Mac, what is ant defense?
What is ant defense?
Have you ever seen someone drop some street crumbs and seen ants attack the street crumb?
Sometimes
it's a million ants just coming from nowhere.
Yeah.
That's what they do in terms of attacking the football. It feels like they're playing with 15 guys instead of 11 guys. And that's why I really like their chances, Melvin, in terms of making things dicey in the playoff run, especially trying to compete for that sticky Lombardi, because I love their defense.
Incredible. It's incredible first half. Look, I mean, they put on an absolute clinic right there. And in a game where Sam Darnold had 3 turnovers, the defense is able to pick them up.
I mean, Sam Darnold only having to attempt 12 passes. and
it 10 of 12.
Never being close. Really impressive.
How about this? Sam Darnold is averaging an absurd 9.9 yards per pass attempt this season, the best by any quarterback through his first 9 games of a season since Kurt Warner in 2000. That's ridiculous. And this is a game where he struggled, and they still won in dominant fashion. Get back out to Seattle. Welcome in Trent Green. And Trent, look, this game was over at halftime. Call it like you see it. And a game where Sam Darnold has 3 turnovers, it's the defense and DeMarcus Lawrence, the story of this game.
It really is, and really that set the tone. The offense got going right away. That first possession, they drove right down the field. Long touchdown pass from Darnold to Smith and Jigba, and they were rolling. And then all of a sudden you get the back-to-back, fumbles for touchdowns on the sacks of Jacoby Brissett. So really the defense set the tone. They got a big lead, and then it was a matter of hanging on to the lead. You know, I don't get too worried about Sam Darnold in those turnovers. He's you look at the interception, and really it was his follow-through where the ball hit off his own player, his tight end, in the pocket, and then the quarterback center exchange when his center Sundell went out with an injury. The backup center came in. They had a quarterback center exchange. So a couple of those aren't necessarily gotta blame them because they came from him, but I'm not too worried about Sam in those turnovers.
Seattle improves to 7-2 for the first time since 2019, and we look ahead to next week. They're going to take on the Rams in LA, battle for first in the NFC West. I mean, this is an incredible division. How do you see that game playing out, Seahawks and Rams?
You know, it's going to be a great one. It really is, because the Rams are playing well. You mentioned that Sam Darnold may end up being in the MVP race, which he is, but Stafford has to be right up in that conversation as well, especially with the day he had today. Every time we had an update here in Seattle, it was Stafford throwing another touchdown pass. So he's putting up some big numbers and playing really well. They got Kyren Williams that's playing well. They've, of course, had some injuries they've had to deal with, but they found a way to get it done, and Sean McVay has that team rolling. But you got to remember, Mike Macdonald is outstanding on the road, 11-1 as a head coach on the road and undefeated this season.
Seattle off to a 7-2 start for the first time since 2019. Trent Green here with us on CBS Sports HQ. Trent, appreciate the time as always.
All right, thank you.
So, a defensive victory here for the Seattle Seahawks. DeMarcus Lawrence, I mean, look, this was a great day for him. One of 4 players in NFL history with multiple fumble recoveries for a touchdown in a game. D. Lawrence, have a day, kid. History with 4 passing touchdowns and no interceptions in 3 straight games.
Wow.
There's not any really better note than that. When you tell me he's the first to do something, that's awesome.
It's pretty surprising.
Matthew Stafford, B-Mac, First quarterback in NFL history, 4 passing touchdowns, no picks in 3 straight games. This is a guy that was always throwing picks in Detroit, and now, he still throws picks once in a while, but that's pretty awesome. In 3 straight games, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
I think it's safe to say Matthew has entered the MVP chat.
Yeah.
His name has to be in that discussion. We highlighted Drake May. We talked about what he's been doing. We've highlighted Jonathan Taylor. Of course, what he's been doing has been well documented. But what about Matthew Stafford? Matthew Stafford hasn't thrown an interception since week 2. His last 6 ball games, he's thrown, in terms of touchdowns, 3, 1, 5, 4, 4. His last 6 ball games, 20 passing touchdowns. Thrown at a high clip. He's seen the football field extremely well. And most importantly, they're winning ball games right now. They're winning ball games. When you talk about the cream of the crop in the NFC, there's a few teams you can throw out there. But you would never have that conversation not throwing out the Los Angeles Rams in that said conversation because of what Matthew Stafford has done. So we talked about Drake May, the MVP, Jonathan Taylor. If you had to give a big 3 in terms of that award, Matthew Stafford is in that chat, in my opinion.
I think maybe why people haven't taken his candidacy seriously, maybe why someone may have him in the top 3 but maybe not number 1, is because we have known Matthew Stafford for some time. We have seen him. We know that he's one of the toughest dudes. We know that he's a Super Bowl champion. We know that he's always going to have his teams in position to compete and win Sunday in, Sunday out. But we have never seen him play at this type of level. And because we've gotten so used to how consistently good to great he's been, we almost take for granted how great consistently he has been this season. This is no joke right here.
No.
At all. And then when you consider the Los Angeles Rams, still a young team, right?
Yeah.
You never know.
Aside from Devontae Adams, but you're absolutely right.
But here's the thing. Devontae Adams went out with that back injury. Puka Nacua, every single game, takes a whole bunch of hits, so you don't know if he's going to be there the next week or not. You have a young team, and he is obviously the guy who's going to be stirring the drink, but also the veteran on this team. It's clear he's playing the best ball of his career. And for someone who is a fringe Hall of Famer, we don't have to get to the Hall of Fame debate, so I'm just going to say fringe and leave it there. For someone who's a fringe Hall of Famer, for him to be having the best season of his career at 37 or so years old, he's absolutely in the MVP conversation.
He's never been an MVP. His odds are matched. They're tied right now with Drake May, plus 300.
Makes sense.
So you got the youngin', you got the old dude, 37 years old. Look, 25 passing touchdowns. That's most in the NFL right now. I mean, you're going out there and you're getting Matthew Stafford, who started the season, by the way, injured. We had some question marks about him and his health, and now he looks fantastic.
They actually had like a mobile, iron lung for him at training camp. Remember, he didn't have any training camp whatsoever. You talk about 25 passing touchdowns, Melvin. He hasn't had 25 passing touchdowns in a season since 2021. He has already surpassed his season totals over the last